Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to Odd Jobs 2. In this video I'm going to show you how to put some nice decorative molding around your doorway. Build it up so you have a traditional classic molded doorway. I'm sure there's a technical name for it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. My videos are too long. Well, I get too detailed, so I'm going to try and make this one as brief as possible. So first and foremost, I'm going to tell you what we do before we do anything else. Is we disconnect the doorbell and we tape off the wires because they're live, and we got to figure out where we're going to relocate the doorbell. From there, we're going to take some wood, and we're not building a box, but we're building essentially a sleeve that we're going to drop in there, and we're going to frame in a sleeve. It gets dropped in right there, and it's going to attach basically right here. The reason we do that is we have to build out slightly here. The reason we have to build out slightly here is because we have a nice decorative little block that comes out here, so our sleeve has to come out to at least here. Then we're going to put the fluted molding and nail it on to that inner collar. Now, usually, to save yourself a lot of time, what you can do, and what I've done often with other molding projects, is I've pre-painted the wood. The reason I pre-painted the wood is because it's easier to do touch-up paint and paint everything while it's flat on the ground in comparison to when it's nailed in. So unfortunately, it's been raining a lot where I'm at, so we won't be able to pre-paint the wood this time around. So anyway, next shot you're going to see is my sleeve, which is going to be nailed in and secured into the doorway. Thanks. Okay, this is the inner sleeve. I'm gluing it, and I've also nailed it. I'll let that dry overnight. And that will go kind of on the inside of the door frame. Okay, you can see now that I've put in my sleeve. It runs the top and the sides. Now, one thing I did in case of expansion and contraction, I've gone ahead and I've left myself a little bit of gap at the bottom, which I will caulk in to allow for expansion contraction. Because everything moves. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to nail this in here a little bit, get this seated, nail it in there, and then I will also use like some liquid nails construction adhesive to glue the board along this side here. So there'll be glue on the other side of this. Also, I have everything shimmed up to the bottom, so I'm flush at the very top. I need to do that because I need to mark my doorbell. I have a wire right here for my doorbell, so what I'll do is I'm just going to make a mark here, and I'll end up notching out that board, and once I finalize things, the doorbell will essentially be mounted here, if not there. So anyway, I need a little bit of room for the wire, so I'll have to notch the board a little bit. So I'll go ahead and start nailing in the frame and gluing it, let that set. Now, the other thing I talked about is I have one row of bricks that stands out, so there it is. So you can see how the frame or the inner sleeve goes out past that one row of blocks. In houses that have more of a bigger, grandiose, majestic doorway going into the house, a lot of times you'll see a lot of really nice, big, overstated woodwork. My house doesn't have a big, grandiose entrance, so I'm just going to just kind of do a minimum. It'll look nice, but it won't be overpowering for the door itself. Alright, so next stage is we'll start working on the front side siding and trim. Okay, here you can see where I've laid in my glue. I went ahead and used Loctite's power grab and go ahead and nail in and glue in the sleeve. Okay, I put my fluted casing on first. I've nailed it on to the structure, and there's a reason why I didn't do my bottom piece first, because it's actually wider. So if I was to nail it flush with the inner sleeve, it would not be balanced. So I actually gotta nail it in and center it and then nail it in. So I did rest it up against the casing, drew a line, and then measured my fluted casing height from there, and then cut it and nailed it. So got to do that on both sides. Okay, now we have to fill in the side there. So I have this strip that I'll go ahead and nail in there, and I'll do that on both sides. Okay, I have all of the wood puttied in, covered up all my nail holes. So I will let that dry for quite a while, sand that down, and once that's all sanded down, then I'll caulk in all the little gaps, like here and along the other side here, stuff like that. And then once the caulk dries, I will paint it. So right now we're probably at about 75% done. Okay, here's the finished product. I still have to come in and paint the original inner jamb. And I have a nice door, outer screen door that goes on it as well. A vintage one made out of wood. And painted up to the original paint. Yeah, I kind of went over it a little bit, and I have a few touch-ups, but I'm painting the house too, so I knew I would backfill with the new color. So that's it. Looks pretty good. Really changed the look of the house, and I probably have about 10 man hours into it at best, and there's about 40-50 bucks worth of material, if I had to make a guess. But really changed the look of my entryway, so very pleased with it. Thanks for watching.